What does your morning routine look like? Today I am sharing my productive early morning routine as a mum of 4 with 1 child off in university and 3 at home. This is everything I do from waking up, working out, getting some work done and starting my mornings in a way that sets me up to be productive for the rest of the day. I am Ree from mummyof4.com. Now let's get into the routine. My alarm goes off at 5 a.m. and I have this going off on my watch so that I don't disturb my husband or children, so I can actually get some peace to get some things done before everybody gets up. I try and avoid pressing snooze and just go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and it's time to get out of bed, even if I don't feel like. Because once you've done that, once you put your feet on the floor and you get moving, it gets easier. I've got my normal pillowcase which goes back on top of my silk pillowcase, but I'll do that later when my husband's out of bed and I make the bed properly. So for now I'll just bung that there. And I've got a basket that I keep next to the bed that I will chuck the things into that I want to take to the bathroom. So I've got my phone, my AirPods and the clothes I want to change into. I put those out the night before to avoid rustling around in the dark and waking anyone up. Now it's time to start my morning. I'm going to take out my pillow scrunchie. I've taken to sleeping with my hair in these big silk pillow scrunchies just to kind of stop it getting frizzy, and I find it does help a little. So I'll take that out and tie it back up with a normal sized scrunchie, both of which are from the same company. Actually, I will link those and everything else that I'm using and loving. Anything else in this routine that you might want links to, I'll link in the blog post in the description that goes with the video. So let's brush my hair, stick it back up in a marginally neater ponytail with these silk scrunchies, which I find don't leave such a dent in my hair when I've used them. So everything I need for my morning routine is either in that basket I brought in or already lives in the bathroom. The hairbrush lives in the bathroom, it lives in this drawer, so let's put that away. Incidentally, you will notice that I have an AirPod in my ear. I always like to listen to a podcast, a motivational audiobook or upbeat music in the mornings to get me in the mood to move. So now it's time to clean my teeth. I really find this helps to wake me up. And last time, well, quite a few times ago actually, that we saw the dentist said that we should all be cleaning our teeth before we get up, before breakfast, at least half an hour before breakfast. So that's what we all do now. I clean my teeth when I get up. The children clean their teeth when they get up, but obviously they get up a lot later than I do. So that's teeth cleaned. Already I'm feeling a little more awake. Now I'm going to wash my face. I use the cheeky wipes, which were the cloth wipes I had when the little ones were babies. We still use them all the time, especially for hands, faces and makeup, things like that. And I just use water in the mornings because I fully cleanse my face properly and take off my makeup. If you will have seen my evening routine videos, you will have seen that. But there's only moisturiser on my face, and this is more just to get out any like crusty, gross bits around my eyes and just to wake me up rather than to remove actual dirt. But washing my face in the mornings does just wake me right up. And then I just sort of give myself a little wash, just a wipe, a freshen up, and then that just goes in the bath and I'll carry that downstairs later. Now time for some magic cream, because I cannot wash my face without immediately moisturising because my skin just feels so dry otherwise. This stuff is lovely. It's the only skincare I'm now doing at this point in the morning. At one stage I was doing serums and eye creams and things, and now I've just got a bit lazier with it and I just shove this all over. I should put this around my eyes and all the things. I can't be bothered with doing different creams. I will add SPF and things later when I do my makeup a bit closer to when I'm actually going outside, so don't panic about that. This is more just to freshen me up, wake me up and make my skin feel nice. And I put the excess on my hands because we have to look after our hands and the skin on our hands as well as our faces. So a little bit of a facial massage just very briefly to wake myself up, and then let's get changed. Ta-da! And I'm dressed in some workout gear. This top has a built-in bra. I've got it in lots of different colours. These leggings have pockets. Yes, they do. They have pockets. I flippin' love these leggings. I've got them in a few different colours. So I've got my AirPods and my phone in the pockets. Now for a bit of a trick that's going to make me look like a bit of an idiot. I can't believe I'm going to put this on the internet. But I use these cheeky wipes and I tuck them in my top for when I put deodorant on, because if I put deodorant on first, then put my top in, I get marks all down my top and it drives me insane. So I've taken to just putting these things under my arms while my deodorant dries, and then I just whip them off and chuck them in the bath with the rest of the wet, dirty washing, and it goes in the wash with the towels and things later on. And yes, that does make me look ridiculous, but it works and it stops me getting deodorant all over my clothes. So now I'm going to stick on my hoodie because it's often a little bit cooler downstairs when I first go down, and head downstairs. Just creep downstairs quietly without waking anyone else up, because if I wake up the rest of my family, then I can't get my morning routine done in peace. So I'm going to grab my planner with my gratitude. It's my Organised Life and Gratitude Planner, which is one of my own planners from my planner store, all linked below, and my iPad. I'm going to plonk that stuff down in front of the TV. I'm going to open the curtains because it is July at the time of filming. It is not as warm as we would like, but it is July, so it is light outside. And now I'm going to do something very important after I've stuck my phone down, which is go and fill up my drink and start drinking and drinking and drinking. And I've noticed that if I drink 2 to 3 of these a day, I feel okay. If I drink less than that, I get terrible headaches. And it's just, I know hydration is boring. I know it can feel like, oh, we've heard it all before, we need to drink lots of water. But honestly, if I don't drink enough, I feel sluggish, I get headaches, I'm low on energy. So I do put a bit of this peach and raspberry squash in there. It is delicious. It's very low calorie. I have taking my Stanley cutlet. I didn't realise this when I first had it, that you can take that bit apart to wash it. And then I realised it was quite gross when you don't do that. I realise now it does come apart, so I take it apart every night to wash it, let it dry out, and then fill it back up in the morning, pop the straw in, and then that just lives with me, just carries around the house with me during the morning, and indeed during the rest of my day it lives on my desk, and then I find I drink plenty. Now to grab my yoga mat, which if that was hard to access, I wouldn't do any yoga. One thing I've realised, if I want to stick to a habit, it says it in the book Atomic Habits, it's making things easy to do, making your life easy. And I've realised this even more since I've been diagnosed with ADHD at the age of 40, just a few months ago. Things have to be so easy. So I need to have the things that I need to do the things I need to do, where I need to do them. So I have cleaning products in the bathroom so that they are there ready for me. Exercise where I need to do exercise. Now I open up my planner and I leave this out next to when I'm exercising for when I get moments of inspiration. Otherwise I get ideas when I'm exercising and they just float away from my head. So when it comes to yoga, sometimes I follow videos online on YouTube. Sometimes I follow the Apple Fitness Plus workouts that I have with my watch and Apple TV. But lots of days I just do a few sun salutations, which are just some basic sequences of yoga poses, I guess, a yoga flow, and they just stretch out your whole body. So generally, I just do a few sun salutations because then I move on to doing other forms of exercise. But I find on days where I skip yoga, and certainly if I skip yoga for a number of days in a row, I feel stiff, I feel achy. And even if I'm doing other exercise, my body just doesn't feel good without these stretches. So I'm trying to incorporate them most mornings or before I go to bed, but I really do like to eat the frog when it comes to exercise, get it done in the morning, because often by the time it comes around to bedtime, quite frankly, I can't be bothered, and if I leave it till the end of the day, it just doesn't happen. Now I'm going to do some Pilates, and I'm going to turn on the TV and find a Pilates workout on Apple Fitness Plus. So this is, we've got an Apple TV, which is like a little box thing that goes behind the TV, and what I do then is I sync that up with my watch. I link it with my watch and it will say, do you want to connect to Apple TV? And I say, yes please. And then the metrics from my workout come out on the screen, so I can see how long I've got left on my workout, how many calories I've burnt, my heart rate, all that kind of thing on the screen. Now I just want a 10-minute Pilates workout, so let's just search by 10 minutes. We'll go for this top one. There we go, that says new, haven't done that before. I like the Apple Fitness Plus workouts because it is something to work through. I do like seeing my metrics on screen, but I'm going to be honest, even if I'm doing yoga or Pilates or anything that isn't a dance workout where I actually have to listen to the instructions and the music, I mean, I do have to listen to the instructions with Pilates, but don't have to do it in time with the music and do steps and things. I will generally have an AirPod in one of my ears. I almost never have AirPods in both ears. You may have noticed that, may or may not have noticed. This is for a few reasons. Number one, I can listen out for the children with the other ear, or if I'm walking, I can listen out for cars, traffic, that kind of thing. And number two, then I can switch it over when one goes flat. So often I've got AirPods in if I'm cleaning, if I'm organising, and I'm either having a chat with a friend on the phone if it's later in the day and I'm doing organising and things. But if I'm exercising, I probably won't be listening to music, like I'm not listening to music at the moment. I will be listening to an audio book or a podcast. Now, if you're looking for a podcast to listen to, I have a podcast. It's called Real Talk with Ree, and I will link that down in the description of this video and in the accompanying blog post. And if you are looking for an audiobook to listen to, I have got a free audiobook download that you can get from Audible if you follow the details on screen or down in the description. And even if you just have that free trial and then you cancel, you don't pay anything at all, you get to keep that audiobook. So that should keep you going through your mornings. I do love an audiobook to feel like you're learning something and starting the day on the right way, or a podcast. So there are a couple of things that you might want to listen to in your morning routine. Now it's time to put away the yoga mat and move on to the next section of my morning routine. I'll get the little string thing that holds the yoga mat together. I guess it's called elastic. I don't know, it just came with the mat, I think. Or it might have come with one of the different mats. I switched them around, can't remember. Incidentally, whether it came with this mat or not, I will link my yoga mat down in the description, the blog post in the description as well, because it is thicker than most yoga mats and I don't like the thin ones because I like a bit more cushioning on my knees. Another top tip, to put yoga mat on top of an actual rug like I've done here rather than on the laminate. A bit more cushioning for your knees when you're on the floor. So once my yoga mat is away, it is time to do the getting my head in gear for the day portion of my day. Bit more water, yes, with a bit of squash in it, but there's water, okay? We're hydrating. I'm going to use my Organised Life and Gratitude planner to plan out my day, to kind of really get clear on what I want to be doing today. I have got 30-minute slots for the day for everything that I need to get done, my top priorities, my to-do list, and then the things I am grateful for. I write these out every day, and it really helps me to get clear on the positives in my life and to stay in the right mindset. Sometimes I write things that I've achieved, that I've done well, like I'm really pleased I got this done, got that done. Sometimes I will fill these in at the end of the day and be like, I'm really glad I got that video edited, or this went well for the children, or whatever it was. And sometimes I will do them in the morning, but I will definitely do them at some point during the day because they're there in my planner. I don't like to leave them blank, and it really reminds me to keep up this practice of gratitude. So if you need a planner for yourself or as a gift for someone else, I've got my Organised Life and Gratitude planner. Details are on the screen. You can scan the QR code or type in mummyof4.com/planner. That will take you to the planner store. I designed this planner for what I did not know was my ADHD brain at the time, but it is my ADHD brain, along with a space for notes for brain dumping. And that really helps when I am working, for when I come up with these brilliant ideas that I need to jot down and action later. Now I am doing my morning pages where I just brain dump, and I'm writing using my Apple Pencil. It's just a little scribble to show you. And this is just nothing in particular. It's whatever happens to come out of my head without editing goes onto the page. And sometimes it's utter rubbish and sometimes it's genius ideas. But first thing in the morning, I do find I am reasonably creative. Maybe I will journal on the bits that came up during exercising that I jotted down to stop them floating out of my head. But morning pages is a good practice if you are looking at getting into journaling. It's supposed to be 3 pages of free writing. I just write for 1 page generally, but right, some journaling is better than no journaling. So hoodie back on because I'm a bit chilly now, and I'm going to head into my office, and I'm taking my drink with me to keep myself drinking it. So into the office we go, and I have now got a sit-stand desk set up, which you will have seen if you saw some recent videos where I swapped around my office. Now, if we flip back to last night, I've taken to putting my desk in the standing mode the night before because it's just one less thing to do in the morning. It's a little gift to future me. It doesn't take long to do at all, but it's one less thing to fuss with in the morning. So I put the desk to the standing position, I get out my walking treadmill, and then in the morning, all I've got to do is put on shoes and socks and get on the treadmill and start walking and working. So all that's plugged in the night before is now part of my evening routine, and now back to the current day, back to the morning, and I've got my shoes there ready in my office. They're my indoor Skechers. And then I'm going to grab some socks out of the laundry. I always leave some pairs of socks even when I put all my laundry away downstairs, so I can just grab them really easily. Incidentally, my Skechers, they're machine washable. That's why they're my indoor ones at the moment. Sometimes they get a bit yellowy on them. What's that all about? Why do trainers sometimes go a bit yellowy when you wash them? If anyone knows the answer, I'm all ears. I'd love to hear. So I'm going to get these Skechers on, which haven't been worn outside since they've been machine washed, so they're not going to damage the floor or cause loads of mud or anything. I found these, I think these were the actual ones actually that I wore all around Florida, so they didn't rub all around Florida, so they're great for walking and working at home too. So my walking treadmill is controlled by my phone. I can just press go, and as you can see, I am now walking, so I can walk and now turn on my computer and get a little bit of work done before it is time to go upstairs. I have an alarm to go off that reminds me when it is time to go upstairs. I have alarms going off all morning actually. I have an alarm to say it's time to go upstairs to go and get the children ready, because otherwise I'm clock watching. I've since realised this is an ADHD thing as well, not having much concept of the time. And I have 2 modes if I don't have an alarm going, which is clock watching and not getting anything done, or losing track of time and being late. So the alarm just avoids that problem. It really does. So I like to get some basic work tasks done in the morning. Sometimes things I've been procrastinating, putting off, just to feel like I've achieved something first thing in the morning really sets the tone for the day, I find. And it ends up putting me in this I am productive kind of mode, so I get more done later in the day after the school run, because I'm just continuing where I started off first thing in the morning. So then I have an alarm going off to tell me it's time to wrap up the work I'm doing for that morning slot and start getting into mummy mode really, and getting the children ready for school. So the children now each have alarms of their own, and they get up and clean their teeth and then come downstairs. So first thing Will does all the time is change the Disney counter downer. That's his favourite thing to do. And then he and Bella take it in turns, because Will is 12 and Bella is 9, to fill up the drinks, water bottles for school. Bella does it more than Will, to be fair, but Will is doing it this morning. Zara is still upstairs having a bit more supervision with cleaning her teeth and getting dressed. She is only 7, so just needs a little bit more help and supervision. So then the drinks and snacks go next to the bags for the children to put into their own bags and check themselves. And then whoever does the drinks also pops out the cereal bowls, so they're ready for when we all come downstairs later when everyone's ready. And then when Will has done his little jobs, he's free to go and just hang out and chill, because the girls have got a bit more getting ready to do than he has, hair and various things. So then I am doing some laundry now. I'm putting the washing machine and dryer on. I don't do this necessarily very first thing in the morning because the laundry room is the other side of that giant calyx unit in my office. It's sort of the other half of my office, and I find it irritating to have it on while I'm in there. So I'm putting it on now. Don't forget to empty the dryer fluff, people. Put the dryer fluff in the dryer fluff bin. I'm putting it on now because I'm not going to be in the office for a bit, hanging up the stuff that doesn't go in the dryer, and then all that is working while I'm doing other things, multitasking. So I'm now going back upstairs to make the bed and just make sure that's all nice and tidy. I feel like making the bed in the morning is a nice accomplishment. It's a finished task. It looks neat and tidy. It makes the entire bedroom look tidy, and it sets the tone for the day. The children like having their bedrooms all made and the beds made nicely. On the weekends, the children put their uniform, I help them, into these slots. So in the mornings when they get dressed, it's super easy. They just grab everything they need, put it all on. So Zara's now dressed. I'm going to get myself sorted. My hair's looking a little bit wild, not as bad as if I'd slept without it in a scrunchie. Now, time for some SPF. I either like this one from number 7, the Protect and Perfect, or the Charlotte Tilbury. Both are factor 50. Factor 50 is where it's at for the face. I'm going for the Charlotte Tilbury one this morning. I put all this all over my face and neck, and then I will rub whatever's left in the back of my hands. I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury Unreal Skin, which you can just kind of scribble all over your face and wipe in with your fingers. It's really easy, lightweight, very natural, quite glowy, quite natural foundation though. I do love it. It's quite new. I can do it all with my fingers. I do end up, because I'm at my dressing table and I have brushes right there, I do end up kind of buffing it in with a brush just because there is one there, but I don't have to. You can just do it with fingers, so that's quite good. I do then add a little bit of concealer just under my eyes, around my nose, to kind of add a bit more coverage there, and a little bit of mattifying because it is a very glowy foundation, and just on my little sort of dark discoloured spot thing there, which is on my cheek. So gonna pat that concealer in, buff it in a little bit with a brush, and then a little bit of powder. I mentioned earlier my skin is really dry, so these really dewy foundations and things work really well for me. Before we do powder, we're going to use a little bit of this Beauty Light Wand. I'm using the matte one because the rest of the foundation is really, really glowy, and I found that this stays in place all day. Just buff it in again with a brush. Could be done with fingers, but like I said, my brushes are sitting right there at my dressing table. Now for the powder, this one works really well even with my dry skin, just mattifies a little bit down the centre of the face. And then my Pillow Talk Fair lip liner is looking a bit like it needs a sharpen, so sharpen it up and get it on my lips. I like this because it's not too drying and it's really long lasting if I colour in all of my lips with that, as well as outlining. And then I'm going to use the Pillow Talk Fair actual lipstick as well. It's a bit more pinky purpley than the original Pillow Talk, and it is more of a satin formula as well, which I really, really like. And now for a little bit of mascara. So starting off with the Maybelline Sky High. This is the lash primer. My lashes are curly like that because I have LVL every 6 to 8 weeks, but they are long because I use the lash growth serum, which I will link down in that blog post, as well as all the makeup bits I'm using. And then this is the Maybelline Sky High normal mascara, both high street mascaras, and they just last really well. It's not a waterproof mascara, but it just doesn't budge. And possibly because I spray it with this Airbrush Flawless Finish setting spray, but even if I spray any mascara with all that setting spray, this is the one that doesn't budge the most. Now to stick on my hair straighteners. I used to straighten my fringe, which was sort of mucked up by the hairband. I just blow dry it again now. It's not even wet, but I just kind of use the curling brush and blow dry it to get it back into shape, and then run the straighteners over my hair. My hair is quite thick, so I section it into 3 sections. So I do the bottom section, and then middle section, and then the very top section, just because if I don't do that, it doesn't straighten properly. It still stays a bit kind of wobbly, especially at the back. Now it's nearly time to do Girlie's hair. First, actually, we're going to stick a bit of sunscreen on. It is July. The weather is pretty shocking, but sometimes the sun comes out and I really don't want them to burn. So this is a factor 50 Sultan and it's an 8-hour protection. So that goes on to the children, any visible skin. Now for hair. Now in my bedroom, I've got all the girls' school-based hair accessories for anything they might want. All the school colour hairbands, they're in blues and navies. Hair pins for more like buns. I've got carabiners with loads and loads and loads and loads of elastics on them. It's a really good way to store them, like so you can always find them. And then in the bottom drawer, I've got some various other bits, but a big pack of scrunchies. These were from Amazon. Were they 30 colours? Something like that, I'm not sure, but I'll link those below as well. So many scrunchies, although Bella always wants pink and Zara only wants lilac, so I don't know why I bothered with so many colours, to be honest. Zara wants a ballet bun today, so we're just doing a tight pony and a curl it round and round and round and round and round, and then pin it. Ballet buns are something I do know all about doing. I'm not brilliant at French plaits, I'm still working on those, but ballet buns I used to do all myself growing up because I did a lot of ballet. So a few sort of twist and twist and twist and twist until you can't twist anymore. That I find is the most secure way to secure the ballet bun. Nice tight ponytail, and then a hairnet, and then more grips slid in as well. Slide in a few more just for good measure, and then a scrunchie to hold it in place, and that's pretty secure. That's not going anywhere. Gorgeous girl, growing up so fast. And now for my next gorgeous girl, Bella just wants a low ponytail, so she unsurprisingly wants bunny pink, which is that colour with her low ponytail. Now I say, Alexa, turn dressing table off, and the lights go off, and then I know my hair straighteners are off because that's all on the same switch. Girls just finishing making their beds, and Bunny's having a little bounce. See, Zara's favourite colour is lilac because that's the colour of her bunny. And oh look, there's Bella's purple bunny. That's why the scrunchie is bunny pink. So that's the girls' beds made. Will's made his bed. I'm going to grab the washing. I used to have a separate washing basket in here. I now just have a stack of baskets and I carry the top one down, ready for putting more washing on. I didn't actually put the machine on earlier. I put the dryer on because I hadn't gathered the laundry from upstairs. So I'd already put the dryer on. We're now going to put the washing machine on. We've got a pod in there. We've got some sprinkly things, I always call them, but are actually called scent boosters. They are in there. We're going to get the laundry on because the load cycle is an hour, and it's an hour before I need to be back in here and getting some work done. So some cereal for breakfast for the children. One of them likes Cheerios, two of them like cornflakes. I'm currently into crunchy nut granola, which I decant into this thingy here, this pot, and we're having some apple as our fruit this morning. We chop that up and put it on the table. Sometimes we have strawberries, sometimes the kids have banana, and they're having yogurt with their breakfast too. So once we've all eaten breakfast together, had a little chat, we'll help to clear the table. The children bring their own things over to the dishwasher and put them in the dishwasher. Everyone kind of mucks in. It's a very quick job then. I think it's just good for the children to just get involved. Oh, these wipes, by the way, they're the same wipes I was talking about earlier, and we use them for hands and faces, and that way when they've got breakfast all over their faces, they can wipe it off. So clearing the table, and then all mucking in with getting it in the dishwasher, with putting the wipes. These are the wipes which are damp, so they go in the wet dirty washing. Zara's putting those away for me, and that's this separate basket down here, wet dirty washing, as opposed to the ones further to the right which are dry dirty washing. So now we're spraying and wiping the table. Will's doing that for me. Just, it's all ready for later. And then Zara's grabbed the little vacuum cleaner just to grab any crumbs. It is amazing how many crumbs they can make just from breakfast, I'm going to be honest. Now, to make sure everyone's got their drinks and their snacks for after school in their bags, they do have school dinners. I didn't do a sweaty workout earlier, so I'm still in the same outfit I was in earlier. I've just thrown a denim jacket over the top because I'm going to be getting on my walking pad again when I get back. Belt bag, I have got some tissues. I have got a little lip balm in there, and then into that bag I'm also going to put my small chili bottle in case I want some water on the walk, and there is just water in there. And I'm going to put my keys with my AirPods attached to those so I can listen to something. I won't listen to something on the way to school, I'll talk to the children, but I'll listen to something on the way back. Now it's time to leave, bye bye Will, and then I'm going to walk the girls to school. Off we go for the school run. It doesn't actually take this long, but through the magic of editing, I'm back at the house, letting myself back into a really, really quiet house because everyone is in school, my husband's in work. I'm going to shut the front door and I'm all alone, ready to get on with some productive work. Take off my Skechers and pop those into the shoe storage under the stairs. They're looking a bit dirty, so they're going into that box in there. And then put my keys down over here so I can find them because they've got my AirPods on them too. Get my drink out. Put my sunglasses away. I always wear sunglasses even if it's not that sunny, probably partly because they're prescription and it means I can see a bit better when I'm looking a bit further away from me. Take my belt bag off and then I can hang up my denim jacket once I've emptied the pockets and things. My denim jacket gets hung back up in the coat storage under the stairs. That's out of the way. Get that away with the other denim jackets. Look, the girls' denim jackets and my Disney one and all the others. There are still some very wintry jackets in there because the summer has not been good enough to put away all the winter jackets. Now back into indoor trainers. So my muddy trainers I don't wear in the house. These, however, like I said earlier, have not been outside since they've been in the washing machine, so they're good for wearing indoors. My kind of getting things done trainers. And then it's time to do a bit more walking and working and a bit of a block of work, a session of editing while I am walking on the walking pad. And then once I've got that first block done on the walking pad, I finish, I get off the walking pad, I put that walking pad away, and it's time to go into my next block. I do love the walking pad. You need to check out my video of I walked 100 miles on my walking pad and here's what happened if you want to hear more about the pros and the cons and all my findings from there. It's time to get my chair out, put my sit stand desk into sitting mode. And then we're at mid-morning, so that's my morning routine. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you found some inspiration for your own morning routines, and I shall see you soon in the next video. Check out my Patreon or another video you may enjoy on screen. Bye.